Today, we're talking about the FIFINE M9 wireless mic, which is honestly just good enough. FIFINE sent this microphone out to me for free for the sake of reviewing it on this channel. All of the opinions in this video are that of my own. FIFINE does not get to see this video before you guys get to see it, so when you guys see it, they get to see it, and this will probably be their genuine reaction. I'm almost positive they do not want to work with me after seeing this video, but hey, I just figured it's best to be honest, and I want to tell you guys whether this stuff is good or not. And quite frankly, you're going to want to stick around for this. So a little bit of backstory. FIFINE is a budget-oriented company. They make great microphones for podcasts and live streams and gamers. They make headphones, and now they are branching into the wireless microphone market. This is the second wireless microphone I believe that they've made, but this is the first consumer-grade one that is a lavalier-style mic that you can just clip to your shirt. And honestly, it is just mediocre. I've been testing it for about 2 weeks now just to make sure that I get all of my points right, and because I wanted to make an accurate video showcasing this microphone and whether or not you should buy it. So jumping right into it, I want to show you guys what you will get if you spend the roughly $80 that this microphone costs. To my surprise, when I opened up the box was a nice, hard, premium feeling carrying case. Inside of this case, you get the textured plastic charging case, which is powered via USB-C. This charging case is surprisingly nice feeling. I like the grip. It's almost like a rubberized feel, but inside of that are the 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, 2 wind mufflers, a bunch of media cables, and a USB-C to USB-A charger. Not really sure why it's a USB-A charger, considering a lot of other microphones on the market now are USB-C to USB-C, but that's just a nitpick. Let's keep going. Let's dive into the transmitter itself. This is a plastic body similar to that of the charging case. It has a textured plastic feel, which honestly is probably the nicest part about the transmitter itself. It weighs approximately 17 grams, which is surprisingly lightweight, all things considered, and it's 16-bit audio, which is a little upsetting because I would love to see 24-bit at a minimum, but for the price point, I'm not expecting a whole lot, so 16-bit will have to suffice. Being a wireless mic, obviously it has to be rated for some form of distance. This mic in particular is only rated for 50 meters or 160 feet, which is honestly disappointing, but maybe it gets better. Spoiler, it really doesn't. The battery life on this thing is actually questionable. On several pieces of material, it says it's actually rated for 7 hours, but then on other materials, it's rated for different things, which we'll get into in a little bit. Circling back to the body itself, the microphone on the backside has a clip which is made out of plastic. It is also the same size as a shoe mount, so use that information how you see fit, but I'm really not sure how that's useful. On the top, you have 2 LEDs showing whether it's connected or not. You have a dedicated button for resyncing it to the receiver, even though these things do come paired straight out of the box. Right below that, you also have a dedicated button for noise cancellation, which I have a lot to say about the noise cancellation of this microphone, but we'll get into that in a minute as well. And then last, but certainly not least, on the top side is how you would actually mount the wind muffler or dead cat to this microphone. It simply slides in, which is kind of nice and is comparable to my newer SAM28. Now, pausing the features for a second, let's see how this microphone actually sounds. This audio is now coming from the M9. This is with no post-processing. This is directly from the transmitter into the receiver, into the camera. I'm not going to edit this. This is just how it sounds. It sounds pretty good, especially from a company that specializes in kind of consumer-grade microphones for podcasters and streamers and gamers and so on and so forth. You get the idea. You guys have probably all heard of FIFINE. This is what it sounds like, and if anything, for an $80 microphone, it sounds pretty good. I am honestly impressed with the sound quality of this. However, this is now where we're going to switch to noise cancellation. Now you're hearing the M9 with noise cancellation. If you ever wanted to know what C-3PO sounded like going to a budget film and auditioning, this is how it would sound. This is without, the really nice boom mic picking up his great robotic voice. It's not great. It sounds very heavily processed. I don't even know if it's actually going to take background noise out or if it's just stripping away everything that makes a good sounding microphone sound good. I don't really know what they were doing here. I don't know if this is where the budget just kind of flatlined and they said, you know what, do whatever you guys want to do. We just need to get it on the market. It's not that great. And so because of that, we're going to go ahead and step outside, turn this off, and you guys can hear what it sounds like in hopefully a better environment. So this is the M9. I'm currently walking my dog because that's when I do all of these outdoor tests these days. This is what it sounds like. There are some bugs in the background to my right, y'all's left, I think. There's a dog howling just 2 seconds ago. There was a rooster roostering. Oh, there we go. Yep, if you can hear that, then you know what I get to deal with every day, because that rooster never shuts up. And my dog is trying to eat a cricket. Oh crap, 1 second. We have these massive like grasshoppers, and my dog is absolutely obsessed with them. So yeah, as I was saying, let's actually go ahead and turn on the noise cancellation to see if I can get rid of some of the buzzing in the background. Now we are back to C3PO status. This is what it sounds like. I'm hoping and praying that in the background you don't hear the buzzing anymore, which probably you can't hear anything over the sound of the noise cancellation, and the dog is back at it with the grasshopper. This is what I get to deal with every time. This is when I record these clips, is when I'm walking the dog, and the dog is obsessed with nature. But yeah, this is what the noise cancellation sounds like. There's a dog that's howling this way, because I can't, I'm holding the mic. It's that way. The dog's howling. There's some cricket, whatever noise it is. But yeah, if you hear that, then obviously this is not doing its job. So let's go back inside where it's a lot cooler and there's less grasshoppers. Well, at least it sounds really good without the noise cancellation, which I'm not surprised by that given the price point, but I figured it would be a little bit better. Anyways, let's talk about the receiver. So again, similar to the transmitter, the receiver is a plastic body. It has a textured surface. It's almost rubber-like. This one doesn't have the smiley face. It actually has the full name, FIFINE, which is kind of cool. On the top of it, you have like this weird screen. It's honestly not even a screen. If anything, it's like an acrylic panel that has cutouts with LEDs behind it. Obviously, it shows whether it's in mono or stereo mode. It shows 3 different gain levels for both microphones, so you can independently adjust those from the side. So obviously one of them is A, the other one is B. You just click this button multiple times to turn the gain up or down. It's not the best feature in the world, but it definitely does the job, if that makes sense. You also have a sync button, so if you do need to resync these for some reason, you can do so. It has a shoe clip on the back, which goes to your camera, but I don't understand why it's a clip, because I don't know that I would actually be mounting this to myself. Oh, and last but certainly not least, this is kind of cool, especially given the price point. It does have live monitoring, so if you do want to hear what you're saying or what's being recorded, you can do so from the side. Circling back a little bit, both the transmitter and the receiver have metal pins on the bottom so that it can charge, but additionally, if you want to charge them all independently, they have USB-C ports on the bottom of each device, so if you want to plug them in on the go, you are more than welcome to do so. While things have been mostly positive up until this point, this is where things take a turn south for the worse. Because of the limited mounting solutions, there is no magnet mount, which personally is kind of a deal breaker for me. I really love having a magnetic mount. This one not having it is kind of dumb. On the clip itself, you have these little notches. I don't really know what to call them, maybe pins, whatever, and they will clamp into your shirt and they're gonna leave marks. So I don't know that I wanna do that, especially on my nicer clothes. Maybe on these t-shirts, so be it, I don't really care. But honestly, if I was wearing something nice like a button up, or if I was miking up a client, I don't know that I wanna be using this style of mount on their clothing, because I don't want to ruin it. These mics also lack a lavalier input, so if you want to run a microphone more discreetly, you can't do so. So kind of piggybacking off the fact that you can't mount them via a magnet, now you also can't run a discrete microphone up someone's shirt. So we're really not on the right track. And then lastly, something that isn't really surprising, but something that I would love to see, especially given that other microphones in similar price points have it, is there is no internal recording whatsoever, not even 1 gig or 1 hour, nothing whatsoever. It's really weird, especially considering that this is supposed to be advertised as a consumer premium product. And then I think we need to talk about the battery life. So FIFINE advertises this thing on Amazon, on their own website, on other websites, and the battery life is super inconsistent. At one point I read that it was 6 hours. At one point I read it was 7 hours, 7.5 hours, 8 hours. Which is it? Because everything that they put out says something different. And I understand that this product is new, so maybe we were testing things and it said one thing and then they tested it again and it said something else. I'm not sure what it is, and I don't want to tell you guys one thing when it's not. I know that the charging case is advertised to get 2 full charges from both the receivers and the transmitters. What exactly are they being charged to? Is it 6 hours? Is it 8 hours? Is it somewhere in the middle? I'm not really sure, and I don't think FIFINE is either. Okay. I don't want to beat up on these mics too much, so we're going to actually talk about some of the pros with them as well. This is not just a bashing FIFINE M9 video, which, by the way, that name kind of, blends together, but neither here nor there. The pros are, the microphone, surprisingly without the noise cancellation, sounds really good. And for the price point of being only about $80, I think when I was actually looking at the price when recording this video, they're $75 on Amazon or $83 directly from FiFine's website, which is really cool, especially given the price point of other microphones with similar features on the market. It's not a terrible price for the audio quality you get. Now, noise cancellation aside, if you want to sound like a low budget C3PO, click that on. Or, humor me, in post, just edit your audio. Don't use the noise cancellation because this is not a low budget feature film. This is supposed to be a good consumer level microphone, and honestly, the noise cancellation doesn't show that off. While I appreciate them wanting to include that feature, that could have gone towards maybe 24-bit audio or internal recording or a better battery life. I don't know that I would have wasted the time or resources, or in this case, money, on a noise cancellation feature, especially when it's lackluster at best. Also, building off the pros is the build quality is surprisingly nice. I love the texture of the materials used. I like that premium grippy feel that you get on the charging case, the transmitter, the receiver. All of that is very nice. The carry case is a nice premium feel. Everything looks and feels like it should cost, $120, $130, $140. But the features is where like things don't really stack up. Like the look they nailed it. But feature-wise, not so much. The other pro is obviously the price. For what you're getting, the price is fairly competitive, especially given that this is probably one of the cheapest microphones that I've reviewed to date. The newer CM28, for example, is like $85 to $90. I think they advertise it as like $110. A Hollyland Lark M2 is like $140 on average, but they advertise it at like $170 or $180. The Godox Magic XT1 again is $110, but sometimes you can get them for as low as $80 or $90. So in the grand scheme of things, this is the cheapest mic out of the bunch. And compared to some of those other more expensive microphones, the normal audio without noise cancellation is just as good, if not better, than those more premium end microphones. So that's kind of an added bonus, especially if you're on a strict, tight budget. As a head-to-head comparison, this microphone can hold its own, but not against some of the more premium lines like Rode or DJI, or even some of Hollyland's higher-end stuff like the Lark Max. This microphone is really good in its own class, which is what it should be. It should not be compared to a lot of other microphones because honestly, it doesn't have all the features that they do. But if you do want to see me compare it to some of those other microphones, I might be willing to entertain that because I think that this one versus like the newer CM28 would be a good comparison video because they do fall into similar price categories, but I think the newer CM28 is going to beat it. Maybe that's its own video. If you guys want to see that, drop a comment because I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. Look, the M9 isn't the best microphone on the market, but if you're on a budget, it's pretty good, and honestly, it should get you by with most day-to-day content creation. It's not going to knock your socks off, it is not going to win any competitions, but it is going to be exactly that. It is going to be good enough, and that's how we started this video. This microphone is good enough. It doesn't excel in a whole lot, but it's also not the worst microphone in the world. I've seen those microphones on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts where people just plug in like the little receiver to the bottom of their iPhone and the microphone is like yay tall. I'll put a picture up on the screen if I can remember it, but those microphones will obviously be way, way worse than the M9. And the M9, again, the audio quality of it straight out of the box without any editing, without the noise cancellation is really good. So if you are looking for something low budget, entry level, something that you can work on improving from, then the M9 is going to be that. And honestly, given FiFine's track record, I think that this is probably going to be the first version of a long line of new products where they're going to come out with a more luxurious line of wireless lav mics that maybe hearing some of these reviews, they will learn from and improve. Maybe they'll take out a noise cancellation function and put in something better, like better audio or better bit rates. I don't know, whatever it may be. I think that they have some learning to do, but they are on the right track as far as wireless mics go. So with that, let me know in the comments below, will you actually be picking up this microphone? And if not, let me know why, because honestly, you're probably thinking the same reasons that I am. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.